Hello everyone and welcome back to Know Nothing Garage. My name is Jacob and I am so glad that you guys are here. Today I have a fun project I'm going to start. As you guys saw in the last video when we did the fog lights, I said that I had something else going on with the car related to the snow tires. So here are the tires in question. They are studded snow tires. They came with the car, so I didn't exactly have to purchase them. But as you can see, if you can see, they're in pretty good condition, good tread. I think they've only been used one season. But the project I have today is, they're kind of in the way. So I was brainstorming on ways to do this, where to put the tires, how to get rid of them, where in the garage they could go. And I came across this little section right here. So as you can see, the ceiling actually comes down for the ductwork and everything, all the different plumbing and everything in the house. So we have this kind of interesting spot in between the furnace and the tankless water heater. I'm storing a ladder here. We actually have a fridge, or a freezer I mean, that fits perfectly in between. Like, it's literally touching this on one side and we have a pipe on the other side. And this pipe is actually for the fire suppression system in the house. So this freezer fits perfectly, and I thought the tires might fit perfectly there. So I bought a rack. This is actually the rack, and you can see, I'll just show you the little picture. That's kind of what it's going to look like when it's done. Just a really easy way to mount the tires. The plan, which is actually going to be very beneficial, is to use multiple studs and run 2x4s across. And this is going to be beneficial for a few reasons. One, and the main one, is it's going to balance the load. So if I can mount to 1, 2, 3, 4 studs, it's going to transfer that load across all of those instead of just 2. The other thing is, if I can't actually get into that stud, then it's going to help distribute that weight into these 3, which is going to be awesome. So I don't really have to worry too much about this, coming down or anything. The other benefit of this is that I need some type of backing behind, so that once the tires are on and I put them up in the rack, they don't hit the wall and start to chip away at the drywall that's in here. I really don't want that to happen. So having 3 2x4s, probably the middle one will actually work as kind of a blocker so that the tires don't hit the wall. So that is the plan. All right, guys, so I just got the first cleat up, which is awesome. That was definitely the most difficult one just because of the height. It's sitting about 7.5 feet up off the ground. I also have to worry about this. Ideally, I would have unplugged this and moved it. I just really didn't want to be honest. It's pouring down rain. I would have had to back the car out and do all that stuff. I was doing it the lazy way, but the cool thing is I did get it up and it's level and it's in the studs and everything. So I will do 2 more. It's pretty boring and I think I'm blocking the camera most of the time, so I probably won't film too much of it, but I'll definitely update you guys once there's more progress. All right, we have 3 cleats up. Cool. So we have cross supports, as you can see, and 4 studs, which is awesome. They're all level and perfectly spaced out to accept the lag bolts. This is really good because I don't think the lag bolts would have, I don't think I could have spaced these out perfectly to hit the studs, by the nature of kind of how the wall is and how finicky it's been. But luckily, I didn't need to because I have these. So working out well, couple hiccups. You can see up on that middle one, I think I missed just barely to the right because the one above it hit just fine. So I had to redo, and then you can see this one, all those holes on the bottom, it actually ate 2 of my drill bits. I must have hit something, or I had the drill torqued once it got in there, user error. But as you can see, I broke 2. So you live and you learn. All right, next day, wife's car isn't here. I should have more room for the ladder. Let's do it. All right, you guys, so it is nearing completion. As you can see, I have 1 cross member in place. There'll be another one that runs across the front. This is where the instructions told me to put it. I think it's correct. I think because of the size of tires I have, they don't want it too close to the wall, but honestly, if it sticks out too far, I might move this one back 1 spot. We'll just see how it goes. This doesn't look like enough room to hold the tires, but we'll see. So I got it mounted. I'm very glad that I used these 2x4s to kind of distribute the weight across the studs. What I am going to do is all of this stuff is still loose. I haven't tightened it all, so I have to tighten these joints up here, down here, and there. And then I can also tighten up the crossbars. I didn't put the front one on just because I need room to work up above. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. So all I'm gonna do is basically just tighten everything up, and I'll check in after that. All right, it is done. Sorry about my furnace, it's on. As you guys can see, this fits absolutely perfectly in this space. I'm very, very happy with that. You can see I have both supports on. This thing is completely tightened down. You don't have to tighten these bolts that run up this slide, but I did tighten them all the way because I have no plans on moving this. And they have safety pins that you put in as well. So I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's see if it holds. Right here. Oh. All right, it kind of moves in a little bit. These are actually, these things are just slip fitted in, so that's what that moving was. But on the very, very outside, the most pressure point, it fit, or it held, I mean. It's really not saying that much. I weigh about 160 pounds, so whatever. But if I weigh these tires and they also weigh 160 pounds, then I have no worries. So I'm gonna go get the bathroom scale really fast and just see how much each one weighs. All right, so just weighed it, and the tire weighs 60 pounds. So 60 pounds times 4 is 240 pounds. Like I said, I'm not worried about this thing. I do have a plan after I get them up there just to kind of help stabilize them a little more. But let me get them all unwrapped and kind of set up, and then I will go ahead and put them up there. All right, tires are up. That is definitely not as easy as it could be. I don't think I realized those tires were that heavy. So as you can see, they fit perfectly in between the studs. Pull my ladder back here. So we've got good space. I think what I'm actually gonna do is just run a bungee cord across them, just for safe measure. They're definitely not going anywhere. This thing is super solid. no creaks or anything out of the wood. So doing those boards definitely helped a ton on that. So they're up. Like I said, I'll throw a bungee cord on them, but that's it. So another successful project. I definitely learned a lot, but this whole contraption is really solid. Good thickness of steel, good gauge. I definitely trust it. It says it's rated for 300 pounds and we have 240, so well within its working weight. The only thing I was nervous about was the wall, but it seems to be awesome, so we'll monitor it. As you can see, I'll get up here so you can see the top of my wall, my ducting and everything. And it looks like I have about 3 inches on top of the tires, which is awesome. If I'd gotten it any closer, then it would be just that much harder to get these up here. I am 6'2", and it looks like I'm doing a pretty good job of standing underneath, so no one is gonna bonk their head on it. The freezer is right here. Obviously my temporary workbench for this project, it only opens up to about here, and obviously we have another foot above that. So I'm very happy with this. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something. I definitely learned something, and I will see you guys in the next one.